secret of taking effective one-to-one sessions. That's going to be the topic for today's video. After conducting more than 50,000 one-to-ones with my students and guests, I was able to see a pattern which has to be followed, and I was able to create a blueprint based on that, which today I'm going to share with you, because this blueprint has helped so many of my students to establish their brand identity as well as brand recall. And it's very much important for you to also follow that. Hi, my name is Miithyl. I'm a digital coach, content strategist, and a content creator. And I help solopreneurs, artists, and coaches to build their business online through content marketing. So let's get started. So how to take effective one-to-one meetings? So first, I will be sharing with you the blueprint. So when it comes to the blueprint, you need to first understand the structure. Now in the structure, the very first thing is the idle time of one-to-one. So the idle time has to be 40 minutes to 60 minutes to build enough rapport as well as to convey your brand message, your USPs and everything else. How you're supposed to do it? First and foremost, give 20 minutes for each participant to talk. In this way, each of them convey their brand details as well as the brand message and the rest of the things. The next 20 minutes is to agree upon the actions about how you are going to support each other's business. And third, you need to be transparent and specific about your desired meeting outcomes, because it's crucial that this meeting or I will say one-to-one will primarily be fruitful to each of them. Let me give you a pro tip on that. Think of a slap in the face. This is nothing but brand recall. So what daily situations would you see someone see, hear, touch, or feel that will actually trigger them to think about you and your business? So in this entire idle time of one-to-one, if you are able to establish that, I think it's done deal, because this is the foundation of what we call the word of mouth business. So if you follow this structure and if you create a proper, if you establish a small real estate in the mind of the opposite person, it's a done deal. Second thing is preparation. You need to prepare before you take any kind of one-to-ones. Why? Because if you follow a right structure and if you're well prepared, it creates a better impression in the minds of the people. So prepare a script where you will convey the key information about you and what your business do that you need to share with them. Second, you need to also convey to them that who are your best customers and where did they come from. In this way, you are conveying to the opposite person, whether that person gives you business or not, but it at least conveys the message that you work with this kind of people and this is the kind of category from where they come from, so that it becomes, I would say, the fourth point, which is referral worthy. And third thing that you need to do is, why do people buy from you? So you need to very clearly establish your USP to them. In this way, they will remember that, and yes, they will refer you to the right people. So you need to prepare all these things beforehand, and I will ideally suggest that you can tweak in based on the different one-to-ones, but the standard foundation or the format remains the same. Third, follow up. And as rightly said, the money or the business is in the follow-up. And most people after one-to-one, they do not do the follow-up, and that's the reason why they don't get business. So I'm going to share you two things over here. One, never shy away from a follow-up of one-to-one with an email summary or an additional question or two. And if I tell you one more thing, can you share anything that you have learned on social media to help support your colleague? Now, what does this mean? It clearly means one thing, that after one-to-one that you have done and you just go back to your normal routine and you come across any kind of a post or a content or some kind of a blog article or a solution to some of the things which you had discussed in your one-to-ones, then what happens is this gives you as a reason to go back to them and give them this solution. Ke, hey, I was able to find something which can be useful to you, which we discuss during our one-to-one. And in this way, what impression is going to be created is like, oh my God, this person remembers, and the best thing is trying to also provide some solutions to it. Now, this is something which is beyond follow-up, and definitely you will be able to establish a small real estate in the mind of that person. So yes, follow up and do this pro tip because that will help you a lot. The next thing that you are supposed to do is time management. Now, this is where if you follow it in the right way, it will send a clear message to them that I respect your time and I respect my time. So for them, 20 minutes, what makes them different? Ask questions, but please don't interrupt. For you, 20 minutes, listen and take notes, be specific, and also give examples. And what are the next steps that you're supposed to follow? How can you discover more, and who do you know? Many a times when we do one-to-one, in most case, what happens is that we do a one-to-one to get business. However, sometimes if you are paying attention and if you are listening carefully, there will be times when in the past, there must be some of the one-to-ones that you have already done. And when that person with whom you are doing the one-to-one is explaining certain things and you are noting it down, what happens is you will recall certain people who can be helpful to this person. In this way, when you have listened and taken notes, you will be able to there and there convey the message, I have someone who can solve this. I have someone who can help you with this. Now, when you do this, the opposite person thinks of you as resourceful, and they would love to do business with you. If not immediately, but definitely they will try to find a way by which they will definitely do a business with you. So you need to manage your time management. So this was the 4 things which covers in the blueprint. But yes, I have certain tips for you too. So here are the 10 tips that you should follow while doing an effective one-to-one meeting. Or I would say, following these 10 tips will make your one-to-ones more effective. First and foremost, to understand who you should have one-to-ones with. Like, this is a common question that I get from all of my students. Sir, should we supposed to do one-to-ones with everyone? Who knows? Maybe this person can give me business. Who knows? Even that person can give me business. So let's understand who you should have one-to-ones with. First and foremost, when you do one-to-ones, please go to their website as well as their social medias beforehand before sending them an invite. Because when you study their website as well as their social media handles, you will understand, is there something that you can provide a solution to them? Because if it is nothing, you're wasting your time, right? So you first have to study them before even booking an appointment with them. The second tip is how many one-to-ones you should have in a week. Ideally, 5 per week are more than enough, because you don't have to bombard yourself with a lot of one-to-ones or meet so many people. 5 are enough to understand, because please understand one more thing. When you meet these people, the whole point over here is not to primarily do a check mark. Yeah, I'm doing this one-to-one. Yeah, I'm doing this one-to-one. No, it's not that. The whole point of doing a one-to-one is that you are getting an opportunity to showcase your business to the opposite person. But after doing the meeting, there are certain things that you are supposed to do as a follow-up also. Or if you have got some kind of a deal that you have to completely follow that aspect. So these are small things that you should do it. And that's why limit yourself to 5 one-to-ones in a week as of now. Third, Zoom one-to-ones are always a great option. Why? For a simple reason, it cuts down on the driving time, cuts down on the meeting lasting over 1 hour. And third, it also helps you to fit more of the meetings in your schedule. However, yes, it is always great to have a cup of coffee and discuss the things too. But that can happen maybe at the next stage during the follow up. That can be done. So, in this way, you are smartly doing it across the globe. Fourth, should you do any tiny bit of homework before meeting? And I strongly say yes, you should. Why? Because you want to be curious when they are talking, you want to ask questions and seems interested, get an overview, understand a little bit about them, and then come to that one to one with an open curiosity. Because if you have done your homework, you know exactly what kind of questions you are supposed to ask them. Fifth, when you are in your meeting, ask, ask, ask. That's exactly what I said. You need to ask questions. Why? Because you need to understand the whole point is for you to know a lot about each other so that you're going to ask things too. You're trying to discover things about each other, and that's the whole point of building your relationship. Also, try to look for some kind of commonalities. Why? Because it will help you to remember them better. If there is no commonality, there are chances that you it will skip out of your mind. Sixth, you want to ask, how can I help you? Like these are the five powerful questions without saying the words, how can I help you? Now, this is a science, and this is, I would say, a skill that you have to convey the message, how can I help you, without using the words, how can I help you? So, the first thing is listening is the key. Second, take notes. Third, you need to understand that these meetings are not about selling. That is exactly what I told you at the beginning of this video. And fourth, you are aiming to connect, to have a relationship, and to give. Why? Because this is how you will be able to go in a longer way and you will be able to create a better collaboration. Seven, make your meeting after your meeting, you want to make sure that you follow through. As I rightly said, follow up is the key. If you say that you are going to do something, then you should try to follow through by the end of the week. Try to get those connections to them that you are trying to do, and try to do whatever the things you said you were going to help them do, because it sends a clear message that you keep your promises. Eighth, to schedule another meeting. So try to create a spreadsheet or have a CRM. Like I keep my entire thing on my Notion CRM, and I, after the one to ones are done, all the notes that I have taken, everything goes into my Notion, and I try to reconnect with them with a follow up if I have promised it. And if there are no kind of follow ups which we have discussed, or even after follow up, there is nothing done, I try my level best to reconnect with them every 3 to 6 months. But again, don't only restrict yourself to business. Try to also, wish them on their birthdays, or send them a card, or wished on any kind of festivals, because even that matters a lot. The ninth tip is to stay in touch on social medias. Why? Because your network gets to keep up with you in between your coffees. Because this is something that will be like you're constantly hammering them that, yes, I'm available, I can do this. It gives you something to talk about when you see other, like, when you will be able to see each other next time, and it gives your network an understanding of how they can help you. Because through social medias, when you are giving some kind of a value, or you are creating some kind of a content, or giving them some kind of a value, you are basically trying to establish that yes, you are there in their mind. And tip number 10 is to remember that not everyone wants to be your best friend. Now, this is something that I want you to pay attention to. Please remember, not everyone is a giver. Few are takers, and few are exchangers. So please don't feel bad that once you do a one to one, that even they gave you something, they took something from you, but they did not give you back. So, as I rightly said, not everyone is a giver. Few are takers and few are exchangers. So the foundation over here is that the whole point of having one to one is to primarily find out who you want to keep seeing. The whole point of networking, of meeting people, is about finding your group of people who energizes you and helps you to grow as a person, as a business, and who you would do the same for, because it's primarily a reciprocal of it. So that's a wrap up for this video. I hope you found the blueprint and the tips valuable. If I missed something, or if you have certain best practices, do share in the comment section below so that other people can also learn about it. Remember, taking effective one-to-ones is all about clear communication and active participation. Practice makes perfect. So try to inculcate the blueprint in your daily life till the time it becomes like a shadow to you. And if you find this video valuable, try to share it with your friends whom you think that if they also learn, their one-to-ones can also become much better. So this is Miithyl signing off at the moment. Until next time, meet you soon with amazing content. But till then, stay safe and don't forget to keep creating content. Ciao.